Hi, Bob the Canadian here. I thought today we would look at comparatives and superlatives in the English language. And if you're not sure what they are, I think you'll know in a second, because if you look here, you'll see that I'm standing close to the camera. But if you look here, you'll see that I'm standing closer. If we compare these two, if we look at these as comparatives, it's obvious that in this one I am closer to the camera. The superlative, though, would be over here. In this frame below, it is obvious that I am the closest. If we compare all three, or if we look at all three, in this frame, I am the closest to the camera. Let's look at a few more. This cement block looks heavy, but this cement block looks heavier than this cement block. But when I look here, I think this cement block is probably the heaviest. So this cement block is heavy, this one is heavier, and this one is the heaviest. Look at those muscles, by the way. I don't know about you, but I think this guy looks cool. But then I was thinking this guy looks cooler than this guy. But when I saw this guy over here, I thought he is the coolest. So cool, cooler, and the coolest. What three words should we do next? How about small, smaller, and smallest? You can see over here that the rock I am holding is small. But if you compare it to this rock, you'll see that this rock is smaller. This rock is small, this rock is smaller. And if we look over here, we'll see that this rock is the smallest. So small, smaller, smallest. So if we look here, we see that for some reason I'm short. But if we look here, I'm definitely shorter than I am over here. But if we look over here in this frame, I am definitely the shortest of all three. So short, shorter, and shortest. So as you know, on our farm we grow a lot of flowers, and when we harvest them we make them into bouquets. If you look right here, I think this bouquet is pretty, but this bouquet is prettier, and I think this bouquet is the prettiest. So when we compare these two, I think this one is prettier, but when we look at all of them, I think this one is the prettiest. So if you look right here, you'll see that this stuffed animal I'm holding is big. But if you look here and compare to this one is bigger. So this one is big, but this one is bigger. But if we look over here, this one is the biggest stuffed animal that my daughter owns. Thanks, by the way, for letting me use your toys. Sometimes when I walk, I'm slow. But if you look here, you can see that sometimes I'm slower. If we compare these two, it's very clear that right here I am slower than I am over here. But if you look over here, I must be really, really tired, because in this one I am the slowest. So slow, slower, and slowest. So I'm not sure who this guy is, but he seems to be pretty clumsy. But when I compare this guy to this guy, this person seems clumsier. But when I look at all three, this person on the end, again, I'm not sure who it is. This guy on the end seems like he is the clumsiest. So clumsy, clumsier, and clumsiest. So if we look here, we notice that this video is dark. But if we compare it to this video, this one is darker than this one. But if we look over here, this one is the darkest video of all three. So dark, darker, and darkest. So this guy, he looks strong to me. I think he could do a lot of really hard work really quickly. But then when I look at this guy, I think he looks stronger. This guy looks stronger than this guy. But then look over here at this guy. I think he is the strongest. So strong, stronger, and the strongest. Well, hey, we're about halfway through the video. You should keep watching, by the way. But if you are new here, you should click the subscribe button below if you like getting free English lessons from me on YouTube. And give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. But let's continue. We have a few more comparatives and superlatives to look at. So I'm not sure who this guy is below, but he looks smart. But I think maybe this guy is smarter than this guy. I think the glasses make him look smarter. But when I look over here, I think this guy is probably the smartest of all of them. So smart, smarter, and smartest. So I'm a pretty relaxed person. I'm pretty calm. But some days I'm even calmer. So here I'm calm, it's probably a weekday, and here I'm calmer, it's probably a Saturday. But here I am the calmest of all three, and it's probably because this is a Sunday. So calm, calmer, and calmest. So if you look here, you'll notice that I am tall. But if you look here, you'll notice that I look taller. If we compare these two, it's obvious in the video clip here that I am taller. But if you look over here, you will see that I am the tallest, especially when you compare me to these two. So here I am tall, here I am taller, and over here I am the tallest. I'd love to be taller than I am, I think. That'd be nice. I'm not short, but a little bit taller would be nice. Sometimes when I go outside, it is cold. It can be a cold day, but sometimes it can be even colder. And there are days in the winter where I think it is the coldest day of the year. So cold, colder, and the coldest. And sometimes we have the opposite. Sometimes we have a hot day, but sometimes the next day is hotter. When I compare the 2 days, this day was definitely hotter than this day. But last year we had a day that was the hottest day of the summer. It was 37 degrees. So hot, hotter, and the hottest. So this video clip here, I filmed in full sunlight, and I think it is bright. But when I look at this video clip and compare it to this one looks brighter. But when I look at this video clip compared to these two, this video clip is the brightest. So bright, brighter, and the brightest. Oh, I feel bad for this guy because he seems weak. It doesn't look like he can lift a lot. But then when I see this guy, he seems weaker than this guy. And when I look over at this guy though, he seems weaker than both of these two. So weak, weaker, and the weakest. Well, hey, that was a look at some comparatives and superlatives. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, share this with a friend, and leave a comment. And why don't you stay and watch another video. Bob the Canadian here. You're learning English with Bob the Canadian. Have a great day.